Today I will be creating 6 unique Paradox Pokemon. While I could have picked any Pokemon to receive this new form, I decided to transform the first stage starters. I've already transformed 15 other starters, so I highly recommend checking out those videos at the end of this one. Let's see if we were able to top some of the fan favorite designs so far. Our first Pokemon is a past form of Grookey. Like always, I do need to mention that I've used the tracing method in order to stay close to the original designs. For this piece I sort of knew where I wanted to go with the design, but getting all the details in was actually quite difficult. I wanted to base him off of a caveman, which I tried to pull off by replacing his stick with a bone and making him hairier. I also learned something new from the last episode, which I was able to use in this design as well. When you choose his typing before you finish the drawing, you can actually base some of his features on the design conventions of that typing. This is how I got the idea to add mud to his arms and mouth, because it would turn out to be a grass and ground type. Whacking Branch, the Paradox Pokemon. This creature seems to live in groups up to 10 individuals. Though normally passive, they become very aggressive outside of their habitats. They will smack their opponents with the bones collected from their enemies. That smack generates enough force to smash a boulder into large pieces. They do seem to be fairly intelligent, seen by the interactions with our researchers, and because they create tools from natural materials. I do like this drawing, but it's not my favorite. I think it would have looked better with lighter colors, or maybe just colors based off of a caveman. That is why I gave him these darker colors, but I actually think humanoid colors would have looked better concept wise. But yeah, it wouldn't really fit Grookey anymore. Up next is a future form of Snivy. For this piece I wanted to try something different. For the future forms we've done so far, we didn't really change much. We basically made certain features float and gave them a robotic makeover. I know that is sort of what a future form is through their conventions, but I wanted to see if I could change it up a bit. This is why I gave Snivy sights on his body, to give him a new way of fighting. This is at least different from the original design, and it might make him a bit more memorable. Iron Scythe, the Paradox Pokemon. Iron Scythe is a very cunning and malicious Pokemon. It uses its energy sights to slice its enemies from behind. These sights can extend and deform in different ways, making it very difficult to get a safe attack in on him. The energy created by these sights appears to be extremely hot, as a large amount of trees with burnt cuts can be seen near their dens. A viewer of mine said he didn't really like this piece, but that was probably because I kept the same colors for almost the entire drawing process. I am glad I eventually changed the colors to fit the robotic theme more, and this has to be my favorite future form so far. Our third Pokemon is a past form of Sobble. This drawing was mostly just me trying to tweak his facial features to make him look more mature and fearless. The biggest struggle I had for this one was that I tried to make everything fit without the design being too cluttered. I think I've achieved that by placing one of his horns behind his head. This gave his left eye a bit more space and made the design a lot more clear. I also added a marking between his eyes, which looks very similar to the clones from a Mewtwo movie. Horned Fin, the Paradox Pokemon. It is said that Horned Fin were aggressive hunters, using their horns to stab their prey with the force of a raging Tauros. However, more recent research denies this theory. They appear to be calm, and the only instances of them using their horns is for fighting other males for a mate. In the battles for mates, the loser is forced to leave the group. Despite being a fairly brave Pokemon, the Horned Fin that loses usually breaks into tears after the battle. I am pretty happy with this design. I think we've done a good job in switching his personality to make him look a lot less scared and whiny. I just thought that wouldn't really fit a Paradox Pokemon. I do have to say that the shiny looks kinda weird, but I would probably still hunt it. Our fourth Pokemon is the one I dreaded doing the most. A past form of Charmander. I know this Pokemon will probably be the favorite of a lot of you guys. I just knew this piece had to be amazing. I knew from the start I wanted to add a different accent color to the design. I decided that using spikes would be a great fit for that. I eventually settled on a design which makes him look like a Dilophosaur. I also gave him bigger teeth and claws to add a bit more fighting power. For the colors I used a slightly darker orange and of course the red accent colors, which I used in his eyes as well. For the final rendering I used my scale brush, and I think that finished up the design perfectly. Scorching Scales, the Paradox Pokemon. We don't know much about this Pokemon, since it seems to be very rare. We do have noticed that the ones we were able to research are very active and easily angered. This makes them near impossible to capture. Their flames can reach up to 800 degrees Celsius, but when stressed it becomes even hotter and starts glowing blue. One has been seen roaming around the hotter areas of Area Zero, though it might be due to their own presence. Man, I really love this design, and his shiny looks incredible. I do think I've done Charmander justice with this piece, so hopefully I won't get hate on it. Please let me know if you like it as much as I do. Last video got us all the way up to 1750 subscribers, so could this one get us up to 1800? The 5th Pokemon will be a future form of Fuecoco. Well, let me spoil this design for you. It's fantastic. I decided to make his feet into little jetpacks, and I made his arms float next to his body as well. I did try to give him a mohawk for a second, but I'm glad I just went with his normal hair. The color stayed pretty much similar to regular Fuecoco, but just with a bit more grey colors in there. I also tried to give the eyes the pixel texture, and I love it. Iron Chili, the Paradox Pokemon. This Pokemon possesses unique jet units that allow him to fly through the sky at extreme speeds. Iron Chili seems to be very cheerful and kind-hearted. They don't usually engage in a fight with other Pokemon and spend their time playing with balls of energy created by their hands. This Pokemon is literally my favorite out of all of them so far. I am extremely happy how this piece turned out, and I wouldn't really know what to improve on this one. This is another one of those designs I just hope will get into the game. But yeah, that is probably never going to happen. The last Pokemon for today is a past form of Chespin. We thought of a few different ideas for this piece. We tried giving him a big afro, but it didn't really fit him. We eventually settled on big ears, because the spikes on his head already look like the inner parts of ears. So why not give him just actual ears? We also made the green thing on his head to look like a helmet. This resulted in him looking a lot more fierce and protected. Someone in my chat suggested that we make his primary feature a poisonous steel, because we already decided on his grass poison typing. This made the design look a lot more interesting, and it was just a perfect fit for this typing. Venomous Needle, the Paradox Pokemon. The reason Venomous Needle covers itself with poison remains unknown to this day, as they weren't seen producing these toxins. We are suspecting that this Pokemon's fur and thick skin prevents poison getting into their bodies, though it's still up for debate. They seem to be pretty rude and like to start battles with Pokemon around their size. The results of these battles vary a lot. It does seem they act tougher than they actually are. This piece took me quite a while to get to a point I was happy with him. Now that I actually see it fully rendered out and see it shiny, I actually think it looks freaking sick. I feel like I'm getting better at creating Paradox Pokemon, because I'm starting to realize what a Paradox Pokemon is and should be. I think this set of starters looks incredible, and I would love to know which one is your favorite. Goodbye!